Fix her mic.
कीकर for दिल से प्रभुर किया बयान तेग बहादुर सीख दिया करे न किन्हों आन तेग बहादुर के चलत पयो जगत को सोग है सब जगत पयो जय 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 सुरलोक वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह. I'm honored to speak about a Sakhi that shaped how I see injustice, standing up for others, and courage. The Sakhi of Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Shahidi. When I first heard the Sakhi of Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Shahidi, I was young. Back then, I only thought he gave his life for others. But as I grew older, I started asking myself, why? Why would someone give up everything, their life, their family, their peace, for someone who's not even from their own religion? But then I understand that he didn't give up for one community. He lived and got shaheed for humanity. Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji was born in 1621 in Amritsar, the Sabta Chote Sahibzade of Shri Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji and Mata Nanaki Ji. From the very start, he was quiet, thoughtful, and fearless, someone who preferred meditation over attention. Even as a young boy, he showed courage in battles and peace in despair. But when he became the ninth Guru, he guided the Sikh Panth not with power or wealth, but with truth and deep faith in Vaheguru Ji. He traveled across India from Punjab to Assam, spreading peace, quality, and the message that every person deserves to live free and believe and love without fear. When he became the ninth Guru, the world around him was filled with fear. Aurangzeb was trying to crush the freedom of religion. Hindus were forced to give up their faith, and nobody dared to speak against it. But Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji did. He didn't pick up a sword, he picked up the truth that was stronger than any weapon. Tilak jyon rakha prabh taka kino bado kalu mein sakha. He stood for Kashmiri Pandits not because they were Hindus, but because they were human beings whose freedoms were being stolen from them. And he was arrested, tortured, and murdered in Delhi in 1675 for that reason. But even after facing death, he never gave up on his principles. That's why the world remembers him as Hindi Chadar. Close your eyes for a second and imagine that scene in Delhi in 1675. Guruji sitting peacefully, knowing what's coming next. His eyes calm and words steady. He wasn't alone that day. He was standing with him was 3 Sikhs, whose names we should never forget. Bhai Mati Das Ji, Bhai Sati Das Ji, and Bhai Dyala Ji. Each of them gave their lives in such an unimaginable way. Not for land, not for wealth, but for Dharam, for freedom. And their courage wasn't loud. It didn't come from anger. It came from stillness, from standing firm on the truth, no matter how strong, how dark the moment was. Jo nar dukh mein dukh nahi manne, sukh sanu arpay nahi jaake kanchan mati manne. Guruji didn't just speak this word, he lived them. He showed the world that true courage doesn't come from anger or violence. It comes from standing firm, no matter how strong the storm is. But Sangat Ji, tyranny didn't end in Aurangzeb's time. It still exists. It just wears different faces. Today, tyranny is when someone is being bullied for having different beliefs, when someone is silenced for speaking the truth, when we scroll past injustice on our phone and say, it's not my problem. That's when Guru Sahib Ji's voice echoes again, asking us, Singh Ji, will you stand up or stay silent? His Shahidi isn't just a Sakhi from the past, it's a message for now, a challenge to all of us to protect, to speak up, to care for all others. Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Bani in Shri Guru Granth Sahib Ji is Brahmari, but powerful. It's like a mirror that shows us how to live a life without fear and truthful life. Kahu ko dekne na pe manat an, kaho nanak sun re mana gyani tahe bikhan. He taught that real courage doesn't come from power, it comes from peace. He taught that real courage is not about who's shouting louder, it's about who's standing taller, even in silence. He showed that compassion isn't weakness, it's the highest form of bravery. Guru Tegh Bahadur's Sakhi gives me strength when I'm scared to speak up, when I see someone getting treated unfairly. I remember him and tell myself, don't say silent, because silent is what injustice loves the most. Guruji inspires me to be the kind of person who stands up for others, even if it's just with words, even if it's just for one person. He reminds me that courage doesn't always have to look big. Sometimes it's just a quiet no when everyone says a yes. Guruji didn't give his head, he gave the world an example and a light that will never run out. Taramhed Saka Jin Kiya, Sees Diya Pasar Na Diya. His Shahidi reminds us that true victory isn't in survival, it's in standing up for what's right, even when the whole world kneels. I think that's the most powerful sentence ever, because it tells that truth and courage live longer than hate and fear. His Shahidi wasn't the end, it was the beginning of a light that still burns today. So let's all promise ourselves that we will try, even if it's hard, to live what Guru Sahib Ji taught us, to be brave when others are quiet, to protect others, not because it's our duty, but because it's right. And to never forget that one person's courage can protect the millions other. They say Guruji's body was burned, but his light never faded. It still shines in every act of kindness, in every voice that speaks the truth, in every person who stands for justice without fear. So let's not just remember Guru Sahib Ji, let's remember his message, let's live his message. Because as long as their courage exists, because as long as truth is spoken, Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji lives. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.